Hi, I'm Alex Paul with Open Systems Media and Embedded Computing Design, and I'm here with Richard Lansdowne, and he's with Semtech. Now, Richard, I'm really glad to have you here because we had Alistair from Semtech here earlier, but we talked more big picture. You're in charge of IoT, you're in charge of the cloud, you're in charge of all that stuff, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in charge of the cloud services we're providing to try to make things more simple. We're taking complex things such as trying to locate your device, which involves processing data you get from all the gateways that pick up the signal and turn that into a location. Basically taking a relatively complex operation, making it into an API call over the cloud, bam, send it, get the answer back.
Very nice. Well, I mean, it also has to manifest itself in a solution. I see you've got something in front of you there. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is a little pet project of mine. Essentially, as we're in Amsterdam, I decided to turn this thing into a bicycle tracker. So what we have here, this is a PyCom low-pi device, which is a developer device. You write a Python script, and you load it in through the USB port, and it does what you tell it to do. So this essentially is using a LoRa backhaul, so it connects to the LoRa network, here the TTN network in Amsterdam. And what we have on board is also a Wi-Fi device. So we detect movement. We say, the bike is on the move. We now wait for the bike to stop moving. When it stops, we say, has it stopped for 5 minutes? When it stops for 5 minutes, we wake up and we say, what Wi-Fi access points can we see? A little bit like on your phone, when you get the little Wi-Fi thing, you see all the different lists. This lists them all out. Then we have to sort them to take away any duplicates that we might see from the same piece of hardware. Then we take the list, we shorten it down to the best ones, send them to my cloud service, and we resolve that into a location. We also do it using the LoRa signals as well, and we can compare what we get from the LoRa signals with the Wi-Fi signals. And we can make a better solution by bringing it all together into a hybrid solution.
So you're using the Wi-Fi just for positional, you're not using it for the communications aspect at all?
Absolutely. All we do is sniff it. We don't even need to log onto it. We just see that it's there.
So you don't have to have passwords, nothing, but it'll still utilize the Wi-Fi?
Correct. And you can use anyone's Wi-Fi.
Hey, that's interesting as well. So, but that's really, actually that's a very interesting aspect of the whole thing, that you can make use of other ecosystems to support your own.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And one of the examples that we also say with this is we're trying to get a best effort location. We're trying to minimize the power. We want the battery of these things to last for years. So the problem is, if you do this all the time, you run out of juice pretty quick. And also, there's not Wi-Fi everywhere. If we take our bike out of town, there isn't Wi-Fi. In which case, we've got LoRa. And the LoRa signals, it's more difficult because they're further away, much lower level signals. It's more difficult to get a highly accurate solution, but we can get a more accurate solution by sending multiple packets. So this will automatically say, I need to get a LoRa solution, I'm going to send multiple packets. Again, my cloud solution will automatically process that into the best location we can get wherever we are, whether we're within the Wi-Fi, in the city, or whether we're just in the LoRa coverage out in the countryside.
Well, and you say bicycle, but this could literally apply to anything, couldn't it?
Yes, and one of the topics I talked about in my talk is really matching what the device does with very simple intelligence to the application. So a bicycle does certain things. Typically someone gets on their bike in the morning, they cycle to work. It stays in work for several hours, then they cycle it at lunchtime, then they cycle it at home. That's pretty much what happens. So there's only like 3 or 4 events in a day. You don't really have to do too much. If you put it in your bag, that's a different thing. You're picking your bag up and moving many times a day. So we might have to change the profile of how, when we detect static, how long, the duty cycle, the number of packets we send, because we're going to have to really be careful about the power consumption. So really knowing what the device is intended to do, you just tweak some of the parameters and you get a much more appropriate solution.
Very nice. So were there any obstacles, any hiccups? Was it a smooth a smooth development, or?
The biggest development for me was that I'm not a software guy and I'm not used to Python. So I had to get some help from my team. But as an engineer at heart, I'm a hacker, so give me a script that works, I'll hack it into something that does something a little bit different.
Very nice. So, Richard, where are you headed with this? Are there any other application spaces you want to address? Are there any other solution sets you want to develop?
So really what we're aim with this is to open the minds of the folk here, particularly the folk we talk to out there in the main presentation hall, to get them to think, I can detect when we move here. I can include one byte in the packet which says how many packets since we last moved. We can use that and leverage that in the cloud to give a massive improvement to the system just by having one extra byte in the payload. So for a very small amount of intelligence, we're really looking to get the next generations of devices across all applications to really improve how we can use that technology. And it's really exciting to see what people come up with, because they come up with new ideas all the time, things that we never thought of.
Very cool, Richard. So, do you want to leave our audience with any last words before I let you go? Any tips or advice, or even just something about Semtech?
I think it's my thoughts, I guess, at the end of 2 days here at the Things Conference is this is an unbelievably exciting place to be. We're surrounded by some, really, really talented folk, many talented folk, and it's so exciting to meet them. I'm really happy to be here. I'm really excited by what's coming very soon, from Titien, from Semtech, and how the ecosystem's working together. It's something we call co-opetition.
There you go. Well, and you're one of those smart people, Richard. Don't sell yourself short now.
Yeah, it's the Semtech shirt.
Thanks a lot, Richard. I really appreciate you taking time at this event for us.
That's great to meet you. Thanks for having me. It's been great to be here.
Thank you.